morning, everyone. Welcome to stretching class. Happy Wednesday, halfway through the week. Give you guys a second to get on here and then we'll get going. Got about 30 minutes to stretch today. Loosen up the body, center ourselves, get ready for a nice Wednesday. So if you have a mat, put that down on the ground. You do not need one. If you'd like it, have some water with you. We will get going here. Welcome, welcome. We're gonna start in a standing position. And I want you to open those legs up in a super wide second position. So a little bit wider than might be comfortable. And make sure that you're grounding yourself straight down through those hips. All 10 toes are feeling the ground here. And just start to focus that breath. Taking a nice full breath, filling into the diaphragm, feeling those ribs expanding. And then releasing. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit, maybe a little too loud here. Keep going, nice deep breaths. There we go. And I like to open my palms up, just to really feeling myself opening here. Chest is nice and lifted. Shoulders are actively pressing down. Take some nice, generous, deep breaths here. Really allow yourself to focus that breath. Try not to think about anything else right now other than your breathing. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Few more here. And you can start to slowly dip into one hip and then into the other, just nice and simple. Feeling one hip rise and the other one lower. And as you do this, make sure you're continuing your breath nice and long. One hip and then the other. I want you to bring one shoulder up to your ear and you can add a little hip and send it down into the other. And just switch between these shoulders here. Tensing up, bringing one shoulder up and one shoulder down. Make it a little bit bigger, just really elongating the arm, reaching the other hand down, down, down towards your feet. Alrighty, next one here, we're gonna actually reach all the way down to the ground. So you're reaching down this one foot. I want you to try to reach for the ground, but you can just go on the leg as well, totally fine. Just starting to get this nice hamstring stretch. Other hand can be wherever it wants. It can be on the hip, it can be up. Classic yoga pose, whatever you like. Just feeling that opening in the hip, stretching out the hamstring. And slowly bring it up. Let's test out, ooh, the other side. Don't lose your balance like me. Keep breathing. Again, either reaching for the ankle or reaching for the ground. Hand can be wherever is comfortable. And back up. This time we're going to take a bend and reach down. Again, top hand can be wherever you need it to be. And let's switch other way. And bring it back up. Same idea, bending in the hip and just hinging over here. If you want, you can send those hands out overhead. Try to get a flat back. So you're starting to feel a stretch in the lower spine here. Hands can be on the hips though, whatever is comfortable. And take it over other way. And from here, you're gonna stay in this flat back position. So I really want you to focus on pressing that lower back down, okay? So if we're up a little bit contracted, think about tucking those hips under and trying to flatten out that back. And just hold it here. You're gonna be actively engaging in this. So you might start sweating a little bit. Make sure you're breathing. Straightening up through those kneecaps, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. Take a deep inhale, and when you exhale, I want you to fall over here, relaxing down into the stretch. Let that head relax completely. Try not to hold any tension in the back of your neck here. Make sure that your feet are grounded again. Wiggle those toes, wake them up, all 10 toes, evenly spread on the ground. Let's take a little tiny hip shift here. So nice and simple, just little tiny shifting into one hip and then into the other. And take a little knee bend. So even if you're not touching the ground and you're just hanging, that is okay. You're still getting a good stretch. From here, let's bend our knees. And if you aren't touching the ground yet, try to get those fingers or hands on the ground. Knees are bent. You can give yourself a little tiny bounce here. As we straighten up, try to keep those hands as much on the ground as you can. Challenge yourself. This is your stretch. Make sure to listen to those hamstrings. Don't go too far, but make sure you give them a nice stretch. So here we go. Straighten up, relaxing that neck. And again, let's bend. And as you're hanging down here, make sure you're breathing. We don't want a lot of blood to rush to our head. I don't want you guys to get dizzy when we come up. So make sure you're taking nice full breaths and stretch it up. And last one, bend. From here, we're gonna roll it up, tuck that chin, and try to feel yourself rolling through each vertebrae one at a time. Rolling up. And take a few shoulder rolls here. Shake out those legs. Nice work. We're gonna take it down onto the ground. Give those legs a little bit of a break. Do some shoulder opening exercises, some back and chest opening exercises, and some other stuff too, alrighty? So starting here, I want you to sit. Your feet are together in the back. Your knees are open in a V position. Nice and simple. Let's check in with that breath. Deep inhales, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Trying to figure out the best way for me to sit so you guys can see what we're doing. So this one's gonna be a super small movement to begin. I just want you to think of bringing those shoulders up, back, and down. So really, really simple movement here at your own pace. 3 parts, up, back, and down. So we turn up, down. If you do not want to be sitting on the ground, you can totally do this in a chair. Whatever is best for you. Little 3-part movement. Don't worry about getting it perfect. This is just to feel those shoulders activating to open the chest up. A few more here. And let's keep those shoulders pressing back and down, actively engaging, feeling the shoulder blades pulling together. Opening that chest nice and wide. To help it even more, you're going to take one arm behind you, trying to get it as far back behind you as it can. If you're on a chair, you can grab the back of the chair. And tilt your chin up a little bit just to continue opening. Get that nice feeling here. Take the other hand to meet it and open, open, open. Chin is up. We're not completely sitting back yet, but we will be. And if you can, flatten those hands down on the ground. Open that chest even more, pressing up and open. Feeling those shoulders pressing down. You're gonna feel this in your arms as well. Still breathing. And bringing it slowly back. Good job. Neutral spine here. Take a little tiny contraction. And then take a little tiny arch. And again, little tiny contraction. Little tiny arch. A few more here. Little contraction. Pulling that navel into your spine. And a little tiny arch. One more exhaling. My chest is feeling nice and open. Nice work. Shift so that you're in a comfortable seated position, whatever is best for you. Again, on the chair, make sure your feet are just flat on the ground. That's all I ask if you're sitting on the chair. Alrighty, take that one arm open and feel like you're pressing back against something, opening up that shoulder. So this would be in line. I want you to think about going behind you. A little tiny press here. And bring it in, pull it across, and help it out with that other arm. Whatever sitting position is comfortable. All right, let's go with that other arm. Open it up and pressing back. And pull it across. Check in with that breath. Beautiful. Bringing it back. I'm just going to switch for my knees here. Let's loosen up the neck a little bit. And then we're going to take it over onto all fours. Do a little work there. Yeah, some lunges. As you're rolling to the back, like I always say in my class, make sure you keep a 2-finger space behind the neck here so that we protect all the little baby muscles and nerves and bones in the back of our neck. Give yourself a little help stretching if you need, side to side. Take this all at your own pace, whatever you need to do to loosen up the neck. Alrighty, let's take it over onto all fours here. To begin, nice and simple cat and cow. So at your own pace, you arch as much as you can, and then you contract. And just move through these exercises all at your own pace. Focusing on that breath. Few more here. You can do this seated as well, on a chair. Any move that does not feel great, if it's a pain that doesn't feel like you're moving into your muscles, don't do it or modify it. I never want anyone to hurt themselves. And bring it back to a neutral position. From here, I'm wearing my frog pants, so we're gonna do a frog stretch, okay? In honor of the leggings. You're gonna go down. First thing we're gonna do, the feet are gonna be together as much as possible. Hips are gonna be up here. I want you to actively try to press those hips down while keeping the feet on the ground as well, okay? The second the feet come up, that's when you have to stop. Feeling those hips opening. This is not the most comfortable stretch, but this is a really good one to open up those hips. We're gonna do it the other way, where our hips are down and feet are pressing in just a moment here. Opening up those hips. Make sure you're breathing. It helps, I promise. Alrighty, let those hips fall and let the feet come up. Whew, good work. Breathe for a moment. Alrighty, now we're gonna try to press those feet down. So the same idea. You're gonna feel the hips opening again. Just actively trying to think about pressing the feet down into the ground. Beautiful. Let your head fall down, and I want you to shift so that your knees are on the ground, feet are above you, and just lay here for a second, not engaging any muscles. Just relax. Alrighty, now I want you to reach back, try to grab those toes as much as you can, and pull the feet down so that they're touching your booty if possible. You can bring those knees in a little bit closer if that helps, or you can keep them out wide. Whatever might feel best for you to really stretch out the quads here. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And let those feet fall down. Bring those hands right under the shoulders and press yourself up either to a half cobra or a full. And breathe here. If you want to do a little neck loosening, you can. Alrighty, let's get ready to bring it up to a downward dog. Tuck those toes and press your hips up and back. Trying to press those heels down into the ground, stretching out the calves. But make it gradual. You can do a little pulse. We can walk out those feet. Do whatever you need for a moment, just to start to get comfortable in this position. Make sure your head and neck are in line. You're not looking up and you're not letting it hang. It's actively in line. Beautiful. From here, pressing that left heel down, bring that right knee in. Foot goes in between the hands and bring yourself up to a lunge position. When you get comfortable here, I want you to try to be as low as you can without having your hands on the ground. They can be on your leg, they can be up. If you need to come up a little bit higher, that's okay. Just get comfortable here as much as you can. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Try to sink a little bit lower if possible. Alrighty, straighten that leg, and I want you to try to fold down here, down that hamstring. You can shift to make the V a little bit narrower if you need. Try to relax that neck. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring, keeping that knee as straight as possible. It's your choice if you want your hips to be more square or more open. Just gives the hamstring a different stretch. Either one is good. Alrighty, now I want you to walk your hands to the front. You're hanging out down here. Hanging out here just like we were doing in the beginning. And walk yourself over. Other leg, shift those feet and stretch down this hamstring. And let's shift ourselves into a lunge, keeping that back knee as straight as possible. Shift yourself so that your knee is over your ankle, and find that lunge. Already from here, now you can drop those hands, tuck the back toe, drop the knee, bring yourself back up. Pressing a little bit more into that hip here. Let's breathe those arms up overhead and down into prayer, then twist up and over. Oops, sorry, other way, up and over, so that your opposite elbow is on the knee. You'll know if it feels wrong if you're like this, because you're not really getting a twist to your spine here. Whatever position you'd like to be in. Still feeling that opening in the hip. Let's unwind. Hand on either side of the foot here. Pressing for one more second. And now we're going to shift, pressing back into the hips, flexing that front foot, Sitting back down if you can on that back heel and really breathing into this last hamstring stretch that we have. And unwinding, bringing it back to a lunge position, shifting nice and quick so that we can take it over into the other lunge. Dropping that knee, tucking the toes, and bringing your chest up, pressing into that hip. Opening here. You're almost done. A few more minutes here. You're breathing. And hands down, press for one more moment. Oh, we never twisted up. Bring those arms down to prayer. Sorry. Twist up and over. Almost forgot. Feeling that twisting and opening of the back. And now let's unwind and press it back. Nice and slow. Flex that foot. And find this stretch. If this bothers your knee that's bent, you can be up doing this stretch as well, okay? Whatever you need. I honestly might keep it up for this knee. Alrighty, and from here, let's shift it through one more time. And drop. Send both of those feet out, hands on the quads, and give yourself a nice little shake out. Really feel yourself loosening up those muscles, shaking out that lactic acid that might have built up a little bit. Moving down the legs, shaking it out. And then moving back up. Shake, shake, shake. Beautiful, alrighty. Last thing here, laying back on your back. If you want to do this seated as well, you can. Might work a little bit better laying, but I'm not gonna make you get on the ground if you don't want to. Alrighty, starting if you're in a seated position, hands are on the quads. If you're laying here, put your hands right on those hip bones. And just breathe. Alrighty, from here, naturally we all pretty much have a space in the lower spine here. I want us to think about taking that space away. So technically I'm hiking my hips forward a little bit. I'm pulling my navel into my spine. Alrighty, now we're gonna create a hyperspace. So you're shifting those hips back, you're arching, sticking your booty out. If you're doing this in a seated position, like I said, it might be a little harder to really feel it. You can still be doing it, it'll just be like a contraction and an arch. And we take it back here if we're on the ground. Try to eliminate that space altogether. Engaging the core. And take it back, arch it, hips go back. Great way to just neutralize our posture. Figure out where we sit naturally so we're aware of that. Do a few more here. And just bring it back to your neutral. Let yourself fully relax. And let's finish off just by taking a few moments to really focus our breath throughout our entire body. One last time. Breathing is so important. You never want to cheat yourself in your oxygen intake. So for these last few moments, really just be aware of your air. Oh, that rhymes. Be aware of your air. Try to let your mind be a blank white slate. Try to not think of anything that you have to do on your to-do list today. Just let yourself be here in this very moment. And take a few more deep breaths, inhaling in through the nose, as much air as you can. And exhaling out through your mouth, releasing all of that air. A few more. And very slowly at your own pace, bring yourself up to a seated position or standing if you're in a chair. And give yourself a little shake out. Loosen up the muscles one last time. Shake out the lactic acid. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for coming. Again, happy Wednesday. See you tomorrow morning. Ooh, it's bright. At 10 o'clock for bar class. Alrighty, guys. See you later.